take 6.
Does anybody know the Asian guy on Glee? What's his name? Harry Shum. I want you to know I just went into the kitchen and put tons of olive oil on my leg, and doesn't it look smashing? Wait, I want those notes with me. Yay, Papa Mai.
All right, let's talk about your ADHD. Let's just...
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Listerine and Neutrogena, for sponsoring this episode. Hello, Hunnay. I'm talking about something that I've never really discussed before. I don't like owning that I have ADHD as much yet. I'm getting used to it. I feel like when I say that I have ADHD, I'm apologizing and excusing, but I know I'm greater than letting that consume me. So I'm in that process. So I'm not excusing myself when I say it. I'm just telling you, I was told I have it. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. Before we get into all of it, okay, so you're gonna bring the whole family over? Awesome. All right, I'll see you soon, babe. It's happening. Out with the pumpkins, in with the holidays, cocktail parties, dressing up, getting glam, conversations, relatives. Before they come, Mama needs a moment for some self-care. With my favorite duo. Not now, Paul! So what is my dynamic duo, you ask? Ta-da! Hi, guys. So this is the Neutrogena Silver Line Retinol Cream. Retinol is a derm-proof ingredient. It's a form of vitamin A, and it has powerful anti-aging ingredients that complement the skin's natural renewal process. Some of the benefits of these creams improve the look of radiance when you're in front of your friends, uneven skin tone and wrinkles when you're up close and personal in those pictures, and the results are visible in 1 week, i.e. by the time those people come over. So now let's talk about the face and neck cream specifically. After I clean my face, I use this twice daily. I put like a tiny pearl-sized amount in my hand. I put it all over my skin before I put on my makeup and after I remove it. For retinol beginners, I would gradually phase into your routine. And when I use this in the morning, I always apply sunscreen, especially since I live in LA. You just always gotta have that extra protection because retinol works. And this is something that will instantly hydrate the skin. Now, let's talk about my buddy, the eye cream. So you apply a small amount around the eyes at night. Gently massage it into the skin. This cream is working on those fine lines, those dark circles, and those wrinkles around my eyes. You'll actually visibly see the under eye puffiness and the skin around the eyes improve. I really focus on this moneymaker right here when it comes to the holidays because I am undersleeping, I am overworked. I'm staying up at all hours throughout the day to be present for my kid. So I really wanna make sure that my face feels and looks fresh. At least I can, what I say, face it till I make it by taking care of my face. Now, I'm also going to be deep in conversation with a lot of these people, so we gotta take care of her. Listerine Fresh Burst kills 99% of the germs that cause bad breath and gum disease. It's a 99% naturally derived formula. It's made with 4 essential oils inspired by nature. This is the #1 dentist recommended brand of over-the-counter mouthwash. I live by Listerine. My husband and I swear by this. We even have extra Listerine strips in our bags because I just love it. I like to get a little refreshing rinse every so often just because it builds that confidence and it makes me feel good inside. Plus I talk a lot, so my breath has to be amazing. Did you notice my sexy little swish swish there? Links below right here. You know where to find them. Amazon, right there. Thank you, Neutrogena and Listerine, for making me look gorgeous this holiday season and for sponsoring this video. I don't even know if I've ever talked about this, but recently I shared this with Paul that I went to go get checked because my mind was all over the place, and I got diagnosed with ADHD. Very common, learning how to work with it. From that episode, there were so many comments from a lot of you expressing that you guys have it as well. You guys know me by now, I'm not saying this to be shady, but the other reason why I don't bring up that I have ADHD is because I feel like everybody I know either says they have it or claims they have it. See, I'm connecting the dots now. That's what makes me feel like I'm using as an excuse to just say I have it when I actually have been diagnosed. What I love about every single one of you guys is you're so detailed and thorough with your comments that I really got into this. Racha Minkara, I love you. You said, please do tell us about your ADHD and how you found out because I would love to hear your story since my sister has it. Emma B, who you're a member, thank you so much for being a member of my fam. I love you, VI people. You said, I can relate so much. I wasn't very good at school either. It's not that I wasn't smart. It's just that I couldn't focus due to undiagnosed ADHD. I find you so inspiring that you've come this far by using your own skill, passion, and drive to pursue your dreams without being top student. It really shows you can do anything if you put your mind to it. Adriano Rizzi said, Jeannie, I've also been dealing with ADHD and I feel like I can relate to you on such a deeper level. I've started college and it all can be really hard for me, so I find it very encouraging to see someone thriving and being organized like you, despite also dealing with the whirlwind of emotions, distracting thoughts, and confusion swirling about it in our ADHD brains. Adriano, you hit me really hard right there that you think I'm thriving. In my mind, think I'm barely getting by and that I'm a hot, fuzzy mess in all places. My marriage, being a mom, being a sister, being a good friend, especially when my friends need me. I feel like I'm all over the place. So that's a huge compliment and a reminder that I'm doing okay. Now that I know what ADHD is, I go back to the parts of my childhood where I felt so ashamed about things, and I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Like, this is what I had. I just didn't know it yet. When I go back in those diaries that I shared with you in that episode, I can see where my mind is all over the place. It's so hard for me to think now. I even forgot what I came here to write about. I said that in the journal. At that young age, I knew my train of thought was really difficult already. In elementary school, I got amazing grades. Middle school, I got okay grades. High school, it got really, really bad. In that time of my grades being like an actual indicator of my ability to perform and focus, things like missing out on my friends' dates. I would make the date to meet with my friends. There was this amazing skating rink called Cal Skate in Milpitas. And I would say, guys, everybody talk to your parents, figure it out, bring your skates, bring a friend, and we're all gonna be there on Saturday. 2 o'clock Saturday at Cal Skate, guess who wasn't there? Because she was at home eating a bowl of noodles. All my friends would be ringing up my landline, but my mom would be on the phone. It would be a busy tone because if you know, you know, you didn't have access to people like you do now. And at school on Monday, they would act mean towards me. Ha 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 ha. Oh, hi, you. And I'm like, what's going on? Why are you guys kind of weird? You stood us up and we had a good time without you anyway. I didn't know what day it was. So sometimes I would sleep and then I would just, like the night before, for some reason, as you're supposed to set your alarm, I wouldn't set my alarm because I thought tomorrow was Sunday. My mom would come in and be like, why are you still in bed? And I would be like, it's Sunday. No, it's Monday. And crazy, that happened today. I wanted to post something on Instagram, but I said, nope, tomorrow's Hello Hunnay. Don't post anything, that's a clear day for that. So this morning, I start going through my feed at 10 a.m. and I'm like, Paul, does anybody know if Hello Hunnay posted yet? And he's like, it's Wednesday, we post tomorrow. The things that happened back then still happen to me today. I was at one point a GATE student, which is gifted and talented education. But by the time high school came, guys, I would be looking at chemistry books. I would be looking at the periodic table. I would get frustrated. I could not understand the problems that I was supposed to use the periodic table to answer and it didn't connect. I one time looked at my GPA. I didn't even know it could go this low. It was like a 1.87. I remember because 187 is a very known number. Wow, I've only heard 187 in Snoop Dogg's raps and on my GPA report card. While I'm telling you guys my story, first off, this message comes as a huge, big, fatty hug to everybody out there who either has been diagnosed with ADHD or you think you may have it. I'm going to walk you through what I've learned. I'm still in the process of learning. Check with your doctor for everything. I don't know all the answers, but in conversations with other friends that I know that have ADHD or reading books, this is what I've compiled to tell you my story and to hopefully help you with yours. The list I'm gonna go through are some of the things you might identify with if you have ADHD. And a lot of them come from this book, Your Brain's Not Broken. Not only is it filled with examples of why your brain behaves the way it does, but also there's strategies on how to navigate with now knowing how your brain is different. The first trait that people with ADHD might have is something called hyperfocusing, the ability to hyperfocus. This intense focus that is very different from other people, neurotypicals, okay, the typicals out there. The typicals can sit for hours and they can read and they can let time fly and they're not bothered. For me, if I sit for hours, I need to be focused on something that I'm actually into. Otherwise, sitting for hours is virtually impossible. I will physically get antsy and I'll like either scratch or my mind will say, text your friend, text your friend, text your friend. And while you're talking or while I'm supposed to be focusing, I'm on text your friend. I'm just gonna grab my phone really quick. And it's that all day. The thing that helped me when I figured out where my career had to go, I picked a job where a big clump of those traits could be together. Being a makeup artist and a stylist was helping women, making them feel good, celebrating a wedding, a birthday, a bar mitzvah, whatever it may be, doing what I love to do, doing it well, and I excelled. Art is a really good way to focus on something. Makeup is art, styling someone is art. The second trait that somebody with ADHD may have is restlessness, and that means trouble with sitting still. Jeezy can sit in a movie theater or on the couch, or even when we're falling asleep, dead still like a rock. I am scratching 20 different places on my body. I'll be thinking a million things. It takes me a white noise machine, a dark room, piece of fabric or cloth over my eye, warm sheets, I'll feel like my toes cold. It takes me about an hour and a half to fall asleep every night. The only advice I have for you is just to make yourself comfortable. I won't be so close to my husband so I can be a little bit in my own space, so if I scratch and wiggle until I fall asleep, I'm not bothering him. The white noise helps me immensely. There's also another thing called gray noise. Whatever tone it is, something to just get your brain to just like meditate and start to relax. I'm huge on meditation and breathing exercises. There are so many videos on YouTube that help you with breathing exercises. Grab a sound bowl, join them, dude. Impulsivity is another trait that people with ADHD have. Impulsivity is when hyperactivity and restlessness meet. Have you ever had a friend that instead of just hanging out at the bar with you, will go work the entire room, know everybody, meet somebody, talk to somebody, go to the rooftop, check out everything. So in the moment and you're so excited that you speak without thinking. I always have described myself as the person who thinks with their mouth. It just goes, like it doesn't even like process, when most people have a great filter and can like think about what they say. When you know this about yourself, put yourself in situations where people with impulsivity thrive. There is no accident why I became a talk show host. My very first job was criticizing people on how do I look. What I see is what you're gonna hear. That has put me in a career where I am hosting makeover shows. I'm on the red carpet talking to celebrities. A talk show called The Real. So thankfully, leaning into the impulsivity instead of like shying away from it and being ashamed of it has helped me to find a career where I thrive. Another trait is managing emotions. People with ADHD often manifest anger if that's an emotion that you grew up with. So whatever emotion that you grew up with, that is the emotion you're gonna go to when things feel frustrating. Other people, typical people, may process the situation and then have a range of emotions to pick from to go to. Anger is my go-to button immediately. So if I'm reading something and it doesn't make sense, if somebody does something that I feel wasn't the best way to do things, or let's just be honest, didn't do what I told them to do, I will get angry. And at this moment today, I have shared a few times on this show that I'm in therapy to work on my anger because it's not right around other people. My brother, Dennis, is really close to me and he sees it. He looks at me and he's like, Jeannie, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Why are you yelling? I've been so embarrassed because I know he's right, but I don't want to also admit it. And it takes like a day for it to subside before I can tell him I'm sorry, which is also something that is shared in this book, the difference between you and people that don't have ADHD. Whatever this frontal lobe is here versus this back lobe. This frontal lobe is where you process tasks and you think about things that you have to do, and your back lobe area is where you process emotion. This book describes it as the butler and the angry neighbor. For me, I'm gonna describe it as your really good friend and Mama Mai. When your really good friend sees that you're not on task or you may be out of focus, you're not paying attention, they'll nudge you and they'll be like, hey, you good? Are you okay? Mama Mai back here is like, why you stupid? Why you read that wrong? Why you cook this wrong? I told you do this and now you late, now what happened? And it's like anxiety, right? This is for me, Mama Mai with me. People with ADHD, your frontal area, your good friend, isn't always there, maybe checked out for lunch, maybe only works Mondays and Fridays. Everybody with ADHD, the spectrum is different, so your good friend is different there. But you do have your back lobe, so when you do not function the way typical people do, you'll go straight to that emotion in the back, and whatever that person is in the back, giving it to you, it will affect you. Lash out or get with it really withdrawn and depressed and feel let down about yourself. And the other thing with ADHD that I think we all face, and it is the A in ADHD, is attention. You cannot focus. You are all over the place, or you clock out, or you get tired. For me, I start yawning. It's a whole thing. The great news is these can be superpowers if you treat them right. I built this show because I want you to own you before they do. If you own that you have ADHD, great, it's in the open. Now, what are those qualities that you work differently with? How do you need to focus differently? How do you need to manage emotions differently? How do you need to have a conversation differently? How do you need to work at a job differently? And build your own situation so that you can thrive in those places of your life. The crazy thing people don't know is I didn't graduate high school. So when you look at class of 1997, Amalpitas High, that beautiful photo with everybody there, I wasn't there. Because I was told that there's no way you can't graduate. Today, I don't know if I have a diploma. Is that what you get at the end of high school? Yeah, I don't know if I have that. Adriano, you said that you found it encouraging to see someone thrive. I wanna say that in this incredible, gorgeous world with so many talented people and gorgeous women and all the stuff, as a television personality, as a YouTuber, as a stylist, I am the best wife my husband can have. I'm the best mom that Monica can have. I'm the best host for Hello Hunnay. I'm the best at being Jeannie Mai Jenkins. I hope that everything I taught you today helps you with your ADHD. Drop it in the comments below. Know that this is a safe community and I hear you and I see you. I love you. Thank you so much, Listerine and Neutrogena, for sponsoring this episode.